Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, God of Heroics, and today I want to go over something very interesting. There is now in Dragon Ball Daima the official showing of how Demon Kings work. We had Demon King Deborah, who was actually the Demon King in Dragon Ball Z during the Buu arc, and after his death, we see that in Daima, this new character, Goma, actually becomes the new Demon King Goma. So, what I want to know, or what I want to clarify for everybody, is if Demon King Piccolo was ever actually the Demon King. My primary reason for doing this video is that not a lot of people that are currently watching Dragon Ball actually watch the original Dragon Ball. So I want to clarify some things and then even do a little bit of speculation on my part about what might have actually been going down in the franchise. So without further ado, we're about to get started. So if you like these kind of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. I'm trying to hit 500 by the end of the year, and I am a little over halfway there. So please help me out. I would greatly appreciate it. So, was Demon King Piccolo actually the Demon King? What we know about being the Demon King is that it can be passed down as a title, but not necessarily passed down within the family. Now, as we know, Deborah, who was the Demon King during the Buu arc, his father was also the Demon King, Abra. So Abra ended up dying or passing it down to his son Deborah. Deborah died, and now the Demon King is Goma. We don't know who was the Demon King before Abra, but what we do know is that the Namekians left the Demon Realm. So real quick for this part, I do want to clarify there's a difference between being a Namek and a Namekian. It's a very small difference, but it does matter. So Nameks, obviously being the green demon people, came from the demon realm and they fled to the outer world and cultivated a planet and then named the planet Namek. So everybody that resided on the planet Namek and everybody that proceeds to live on the planet and come from those Nameks that cultivated that planet are known as Namekians. However, people like Neva, who came from the Demon Realm and still lives in the Demon Realm, he is a Namek and not a Namekian. And I think this is important to clarify because it confused me for a little bit when I was watching Daima, because characters from the Demon Realm keep calling Neva and Piccolo Nameks, and I'm like, they're Namekians. But now that I'm like really thinking about it, I'm like, well, the Namekians would have been from the planet Namek, while Nameks would just be the overall race that came from the demon. See, the Nameks that came from the demon world, they left because they did not want to be ruled over, and for one reason or another, Neva stayed. I want to believe that Neva stayed because he already had some kind of deal with the Demon King where he was able to continuously get more life for doing favors for him. He was able to get an additional 1,000 years for each time he did a favor for the Demon King. And if he had left with the other Namekians, or sorry, the other Nameks who later became Namekians, then he wouldn't have been able to continuously grab that key for immortality. And to be honest, he probably would have if he used the Dragon Balls to wish for it. And to be honest, I think that the immortality that the Dragon Balls can provide is way better than the immortality that he currently has, because he's like an old, senile old man. But maybe it's possible that he just knows something that we don't know about the Dragon Balls, or maybe he just doesn't know about using white magic for the Dragon Balls. Who knows? Anyway, what's important is that the Nameks fled because they did not want to be ruled in the demon world, and they wanted their own freedom. So they left, cultivated a planet, named it Namek. And what actually happens here is that it doesn't state how long they were on this planet, but basically some kind of shift happened in the atmosphere, and they weren't certain if they would be able to survive on this planet or not, or they didn't even know if they'd be able to reach another planet in time or whatnot. So they sent Kami in his ship to Earth so that he could be the lone survivor and be able to, continue making more Nameks or Namekians. And it's very similar to how Goku ended up, except Goku got sent because Bardock knew for a fact their planet was doomed. He knew Frieza was going to boom them, but the Namekians weren't 100% certain. They just had this feeling that something bad was going to happen, and if it did, they didn't want their entire bloodline to fail, especially because the family that Kami is from is the Dragon family. This is the family that actually makes the Dragon Balls. Like, they actually have a bloodline of Namekians that can create the Dragon Balls. It's entirely possible that Kami is from the same bloodline as Neva. Since Neva created the Dragon Balls, he's a legendary Namek that can create Dragon Balls. Probably the first one to do it, I think. But yeah, no, Kami was sent to Earth, and then Kami wanted to become the guardian of Earth after living there for a while because he wanted to make some really good changes that could help humankind. But what happened is that he had to be pure, like 100% pure, in order to do this. So he split himself into two separate beings, being Kami and Piccolo. Piccolo being the pure evil half, while Kami is the pure good half. But while doing this, he actually ended up splitting his power level in half. So Kami ended up weakening himself and technically weakening Piccolo at the same time. And since Piccolo was the pure evil one, he decided to continue going on and doing his villainous shiz. And then Kami decided to go on and be the guardian of Earth. And Piccolo ended up being sealed away in a rice cooker with the Mafuba technique. And we do have a bit of a timeline of how long ago this happened because he was sealed away by Master Butaito, who is Master Roshi's teacher. Master Roshi taught Grandpa Gohan. Grandpa Gohan died at an old age, and Master Roshi is well over 300, and his master was already an old ass man by the time he sealed Demon King Piccolo. So basically, all of this to say that it is very likely that because Kami was sent to Earth at such a young age, that he probably doesn't know anything about the demon world. He probably has never been, or if he was, he was probably just born there and was moved out sometime after. He didn't spend most of his life there, like pretty much every other Namek did. So it is 100% certain that Demon King Piccolo was not actually a Demon King. But instead, what happened was once Kami had split himself into the evil half and the good half after being sealed and then brought back out by Emperor Pilaf, Demon King Piccolo actually created his own offsprings. So there's two different ways for them to create offsprings. For Nameks to create offsprings, they spit up their eggs or whatever, but what they do is they either create new offsprings or they can create an offspring that is reincarnated with their own specific will. I think this is a demon thing in general. I don't think it's specific to Namekians. And I say this because Garlic did the same thing when creating Garlic Jr. I'm pretty sure neither of them are canon. I don't think so. Garlic might be, but I don't think Garlic Jr. is canon. And that's because Garlic was apparently fighting for the title of Guardian of Earth with Kami, but all of that is within Garlic's own little side story and the Garlic Jr. saga and the Dead Zone movie, which are both not canon. So, regardless, it's possible that Demon King Piccolo, just created his own little raised his own offsprings, and because they were the only demons really known to the outer world, aside from obviously the other Nameks that are inhabiting planet Namek, and Kami himself, who is the good half, he labeled himself as the Demon King for that particular race that he had just started, and he called them the Demon Clan. So he started his own clan and named them after, well, just the general basis of what they are. And nobody, outside of people from the demon world really knew about demons. So as far as we knew, these were the only race of demons. So Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo, created his three children, Simple, Drum, and Tambourine, and they were all mutant versions of Nameks, and they were mutated because they were corrupted by pure evil. There was no good half and bad half. It was all evil that created them, so they were all corrupted by evil, and that's why they look the way they do. They are Nameks, but they're just corrupted versions, like mutated versions in a sense. And with this being the prominent demon race in the outer world, since nobody knew about the Nameks that are inhabiting planet Namek, and Kami was the only other demon that existed canonically, then he officially named himself the Demon King of this new clan of demons that he was creating. And I believe that he only knew about this title based on what he was told as a kid. Kami was very likely told of the stories from the demon world and how they had the Demon King and all that, and when they fled away because of what the Demon King was doing. And I think that when Demon King Piccolo started making his spawns, he started leading them because he was pure evil and knew about the evil acts and the treatment from the Demon King, that he decided to label himself the new Demon King, knowing what that title really stood for and what it would mean for, for him in the grand scheme of things. So the confirmed Demon Kings would be Abra, Dabura, and now Goma. There probably was a Demon King before Abra, but we don't know who that is. And then there is Demon King Piccolo, who's an unofficial Demon King that was just a self-proclaimed title based on what he had known in the past and what his current goals were for Earth. And with that clarified, that's pretty much just going to do it for this video. Please like the video, subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.